Advanced Warfare gives me too much ranting material, so I'm just going to kind of go without a script here and just ramble about the things that I noticed when replaying this game. And the big thing about this is that it's incredibly vague and sort of hard to convey this if you didn't personally experience it, so yeah, take my word for it, I guess. Advanced Warfare's hit detection and gunplay feels dramatically off compared to other Call of Duty games around the same time period. I can go back to Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, COD Ghost, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, MWR, so on and such forth, but Advanced Warfare is the game that when I go back to it, it feels like garbage to me, and I don't exactly know why. It feels like my aim assist is off. It feels like it's broken, doesn't want to kick in sometimes, and I said this back when the game was in its life cycle, in its prime. I said that the aim assist ranges are way too quick to cut off, and so you'll be killing one person just fine, and the next person's like a couple more feet further back than the person you just killed, and you just will have zero aim assist slowdown or pull. And while I don't think aim assist is absolutely necessary on console, I can play without it. I've played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege on console. I do not need aim assist. It basically being there, then not being there, being there, then not being there, is obviously worse than it just not being there. But if you turn off aim assist, there's a problem in close range engagements because of all the jumping around and bouncing around. Gunfights already feel incredibly random at that range, but that really doesn't help when you turn off aim assist. You know, controller monkey over here. I don't know why I play with them. But worse than that, when my iron sights are on people and I shoot them, it seems like that's a bit of a toss-up as well. Honestly, I had the same experience during my revisiting of Advanced Warfare as I did during the Cold War beta. Gunfights felt like a 50-50 toss-up, aim assist wasn't working properly, and there is a massive disconnect between time to kill and time to die, and there's a massive disconnect between what somebody is doing and what the server is showing. Like, if you watch the kill cams in Advanced Warfare, I guarantee you they are always telling a drastically different story than whatever happened on your screen. Everything feels off, like just in general. And I remember lots of people complaining about this with Advanced Warfare. Gunfights and interactions online just feel very disconnected and awkward, but that's sort of hard to quantify. One of the things that's really easy for me to describe is just how awful most of these maps play. Most of these maps are cramped areas that are just littered with varying levels of height. Most of the maps in Advanced Warfare don't actually feel designed, they feel procedurally generated. And spawns don't help this either. I cannot pinpoint where an enemy is going to be at any given time on most of these maps. And this is an inherent problem with the game's movement system and blast suppressor. Because people can launch themselves so far into the air so quickly without leaving a trace on the minimap, you'll be fighting off enemies, everything will be fine, and then suddenly there will be an enemy in your proximity that you just couldn't predict. And in a game with one-hit melees, this can be incredibly frustrating. This game's movement doesn't have an ebb and flow, and it really does feel like it's made for keyboard and mouse because of how often I feel like I need to be able to quickly look down and look back up and look around my surroundings to keep my bearings. I don't feel that way when I play Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare because those maps are more long, oval, 3-lane maps, and the movement usually propels you forward, not directly upwards. But we'll get to those games in later episodes of the 8th Gen Retrospective. There's something so disheartening about going back to this game that started my channel, that I have so many fond memories of this life cycle and this time of my life when this game was new. I go back and the game is still charging $2 for an advanced supply drop. The supply drop rates are miserably low outside of the advanced supply drops. The DLC maps, which I think had the most potential for fun in the game, are completely empty now. You cannot find a match with those DLC maps anymore. And then the gunplay feels awkward because every single gun in this game has some weird first 3 shot bullshit rule that I hate. I really hated going back to this and seeing that this SMG's first 3 rounds fire faster, and even the overpowered BAL starts slow and then speeds up as you hold the trigger. And there's so many things like that, like the first 3 rounds do more damage, or I think it's like on the KF5 SMG, the first 5 rounds do increase damage. It feels like every gun has this weird, oh, the first 5 rounds are fast or slow or do more or less damage than the rest of the... It's random feeling, and I hate it. Also, most of the variants in this game are completely and utterly pointless, and then other ones just completely dominate the meta. Like, the ARX 160 is a bad gun. Most of the variants of the ARX 160 are bad guns. But then you have the Hole Punch, which is one of the best burst weapons in Call of Duty. Same with the IMR Impact. The base IMR is a pretty good 4-round burst gun, and it has a cool thing where it 3D prints ammo in the background, which is, okay, kind of unique, I guess. But then there's this problem where the Impact is just drastically better than the base variant. And then some of the ultra rare variants that you would think that you would want, they're awful. They lower the fire rate, they fuck with the damage, and it's weird. There's so many just problematic guns that suck to use, and there's so many misleading stats. Like, there are weapons that say, oh, this variant has an increased fire rate, but then, like, because of frame rounding, the fire rate's actually no different, apparently. Like the directed energy weapons, the EM1s, which were a big selling point for the game, these big heavy laser guns, I didn't use at all because they didn't deal damage properly because of frame rounding in the engine. I don't exactly know how that works, but I just remember thinking, what the hell? And if you go back to the Xbox 360 version, I believe the PC version as well, the weapons actually worked there. So thank God that crossplay wasn't a thing. But one of the other reasons this game is disheartening is because it was the beginning of the end of what I liked about Call of Duty. After Advanced Warfare, we had supply drops and specialist, advanced movements, simple maps, and just like that, it was attempting to test my love. Call of Duty as a franchise about had my back turned to it. I'm really excited that I enjoyed Modern Warfare for whatever it was, an imperfect mess you might call it, but I liked Modern Warfare. I liked what it represented. I liked what it was trying to be, and whether or not it succeeded in one way or another, that's a whole different video. I can have fun in any Call of Duty game. It's a complex franchise. There's lots of nuance, but when I think of Advanced Warfare, I think of the beginning of the end. I am so glad, I'm thankful that I adore Advanced Warfare's campaign, because looking back at the multiplayer and playing it the other night, all I could think about was that this was the beginning of the end for me with Call of Duty. I loved Black Ops 3 until about halfway through, and then they started abusing the player base. Infinite Warfare was fun, but had unnecessary design decisions that I disagreed with on a fundamental level, and then it fatigued me until I didn't want to play it anymore. Modern Warfare Remastered was a coat of paint and some unnecessary weapons on an otherwise broken game. CoD World War II was a snore fest, and Black Ops 4, well, that's the Call of Duty game I'm harshest towards. I think Black Ops 4 is fundamentally the worst product in the Call of Duty franchise of this generation. Spoilers. But I haven't played Black Ops 4 in well over a year, so we will have to see how I feel when I come back to it. That'll be fun. We are just now seeing the light at the end of the tunnel that Advanced Warfare opened up. And it's depressing to come back to this game and just be so unhappy while playing it. Gunplay feels awkward and clunky, and you could say, oh, it didn't age well, but Call of Duty Ghosts feels incredibly snappy and accurate. Really, any other Call of Duty game just feels better than this. So gunplay is unsatisfactory. The maps are random. The movement is clunky and jerky and jarring. I find myself disliking so much about this game. Even the sound of the medals popping up on screen, or the fact that you can deck out your class, but then you can't have kill streaks, or you can have kill streaks, but then you can't fully deck out your class. Like, these things annoy the hell out of me. I did not come back to this game and go, ooh, I can have some fun doing this. No, it's a clusterfuck. It's a weird, limiting clusterfuck. Every match plays roughly the same, unless you get some really, really weird enemies, which can happen. You know, it's the beauty of online games. A lot of the difficulty and design is sort of held by the players. But most matches, I should say, most competitive games where both teams are trying to win play exactly the same. And maybe that's my weakness as a player, but I remember playing the hell out of this game. I loved it to death, but for some reason, despite being excited to load it up, I really did not enjoy this play session at all. Even when I was doing well, I was bored. That's a terrible sign. I'm gonna honestly give this like a 3, maybe 2 out of 10. I did not like revisiting Advanced Warfare's multiplayer. At least I know that I love its campaign, but Advanced Warfare's multiplayer, by far, is the biggest disappointment in the CoD franchise for me, because it's the game that I feel like I should love more than any other game in the franchise. It's the game that put me where I am today, and yet when I go back to it on an objective level, I just simply do not enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, all that good shit. Use the link in the description to get 20% off, plus free shipping from manscaped.com. They have great products there. And stay tuned for when I cover Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and Modern Warfare Remastered, coming to a channel that you're already watching on, so hit the subscribe button, damn it. See ya.